this video, I'm covering the GSA Search Engine Ranker campaign generator that you will find in Content Foundry. So in order to get started with that, like everything else in Content Foundry, you're going to have to scrape some content. Now, I cover the scraping in the Quick Start Guide, and there will be another video that deals specifically with scraping, some of the tips and tricks, and goes over all the settings available. So I'm not going to cover that here, but I will pause for a second and because I feel like it bears repeating, that when you're scraping content, it's best to scrape for just one keyword or two that are very broad keywords for your niche, and then enter in your more niche-specific keywords you're actually link building for or trying to rank later during your project creation, which I will walk you through right now. The idea is you get a very large content cache for the broad keyword. You get plenty of LSI niche relevant content for Content Foundry to work with, and you don't have to worry about dozens of keyword caches that only have little bits of content because it can only find a few articles here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that iPhone, but I'm going to be working with used iPhone. And this will hopefully make sense as you watch me go through this. Now, I've already scraped about 3 million words worth of iPhone articles, so it might not find a whole lot here, but I will mention that I'm not scraping with proxies right now. If I'm just doing like one big scrape for iPhone, I usually won't use proxies. There's really no reason to. I don't see a whole lot of difference in terms of what it's able to get, in terms of IP blockage. And it's generally a little bit faster than only using a small amount of proxies. Because with proxies, no matter how good they are, they're always going to be there's always going to be latency there. So you're not going to really see a lot of speed improvements with private proxies until you have about 20 or more. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop because I already have plenty of content for this to work. I just wanted you to see me go through the steps. So it's going to pop up with the project it just created, used iPhone promotion. And it's already activated right here, iPhone. Good. But like I said, I don't want to be building links with iPhone as the anchor text. So I'm going to do used iPhone and buy used iPhone. These keywords that are in this list are the keywords you have available to you to build content with, whether they're for GSA campaigns or they're for just any kind of other output. These, and I'll just show you while I'm talking about it, these are what show up here for you to work with, not necessarily the iPhone keyword that you use to scrape the content. And so hopefully as we go through this, you can start to see there is a slight learning curve by decoupling everything, decoupling the content you scrape from the projects, how the content and links and keywords are organized, and separating that again from the way that it's all output with your customizable output templates. While there is a slight learning curve in getting up to speed, the users who have been using this since December, as well as myself, we've all noticed that it allows you to not have to repeat yourself all the time. For example, now that I have 3 million words of iPhone text, if I come back in here in a couple months, I can create a new project. I can select the iPhone keyword cache, and I could do iPhone screen repair or iPhone promo codes, anything like that. So it gives you a lot more flexibility. It allows you to not have to scrape content every single time you want to do a new campaign. And so that's part of the reasoning behind separating the keyword caches and then allowing you to create content for different keywords here. And the reason it added iPhone back in here is because I disabled it and re-enabled it again. So that's just something it does. So moving on, we need links for GSA to insert into the content. We need to build links to something. So I'm going to load in my Tier 1 links. Now, these could be links to your money site or anything really. As far as these list types are concerned, Content Foundry doesn't treat these any differently. These are just 4 different categories for you to use pretty much however you want to. As far as GSA is concerned, there is no difference. The only the only reason it matters on how you classify them is one, it might be confusing if you call all of your authority links tier 1 and you look at the categories here, and that might be a little bit confusing. But more importantly, this is where you select which links it's going to output when you generate that GSA template. So you can come in here. You can come in here and add dozens of linked lists, and you can say, and you can only have one or two, say, that are tier 1 or money site links, and then tell GSA, I only want you to export everything that's considered tier 1. Or say you want to then set up a GSA campaign for just tier 2. This allows you to input all of, associate all of the links for a specific project, but not necessarily output all of them every time you create a GSA campaign. It also makes it so you don't have to create dozens of projects for the same same project you're working on. So I'm going to come in here and add a link list. Link tokens don't work for GSA. So don't worry about that for now. I'll go over that when I'm explaining regular content generation. I'm going to select primary and generic, which means that it's going to pull anchors from primary and this generic list, which is automatically created. And I just won't use secondary for now because I don't need it. There we go. So now we have everything from the Content Foundry side ready to go. I've got my used iPhone promotion. What I need is a template inside of GSA, or that was created by GSA, to use as a base. The idea is that there is some information that you just don't have to repeat that often. Sometimes you probably never have to set some of the stuff up more than once. You need to come in here and create a template and get it exactly how you want it to be replicated. So that includes everything on the options page, the email verification, if there's any specific sites under a category you don't want, Content Foundry will remember that. And what it will do is come in here and just add macros for all of the data. But it's up to you to make sure all the options are pre-configured. And so what it does is it will clone this project, insert the new content, name it like you wish, put the appropriate links in, so there's my template. I had everything activated, as you can see. Now this right here, this is completely optional. These keywords used for searching. A lot of you guys, myself included, have a nice large keyword list that I use for everything. It's thousands of words. You get better search results with it. If you want to use a preset list of words that aren't necessarily related to your project, then you can go ahead and not check any of this. Content Foundry will leave this part of the campaign alone. If, on the other hand, you want it to insert your keywords that you have associated with your project here in these lists, then by all means go ahead and check it. I'm going to leave it unchecked for now. I'm going to select used iPhone as the keyword to base the content generation on, and I'm going to hit generate, and it's off to the races. All right, and we're done. It noticed that GSA is open, so it's going to ask to restart it, so it'll load in the new template or the new campaign. So I'll hit yes. And there we go. And it has the appropriate macros there. Awesome. And now it is putting in extra link tokens in here for the articles, so it doesn't just put the links at the end of the articles like it would by default if you just put in blocks of content there. So hopefully that clears it up. That's how you use the GSA campaign generator in Content Foundry.